in yet. New York State cyber crimes, there was a New York State trooper who came. He was the third to join cyber crimes. There's now 42 people. He suggests strongly that we shred anything that looks like it could be important to anybody. Just shred. He was very adamant about Microsoft has the little pop-up that says there's an update, and we say, yeah, tomorrow, and remind me later. He said, do not wait, please do it right away. He was really good. He couldn't talk enough about some of the stuff, and I'm trying to research if I can get him to come to, I don't know if he does it, comes to towns and talks to towns, because there's stuff that he talked about all of us do and shouldn't do that could put us in danger, and I thought it was very, very nice. Great presentation. We, the tax receivers from Onondaga County, are working on a first aid kit that we make available to everyone who is a tax receiver and or collector school. Town and county villages make any difference. It's a little outdated now because of all the new rules, so we're working on updating that. We did that while we were there. And also, there's a big movement for state certification. We've talked about it a long time. There's worry about who's going to watch the hen house, all that kind of stuff. So we were busy, we were active, and I think you got a good bang for your buck. I came home a little smarter, at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. This is a very nice summary.
That was good.
Yeah, I've been probably going on for weeks, but I think that'll give you an idea.
Thank you very much, Sharon, I appreciate it.
Sharon, you did an excellent job putting this together.
Well, mine's be fast, because well, it's nice, I'm sure, but that should be enough to help you, I think.
Just another question for you, Sharon, regarding the presentation. Presentation was well done, put together. Was it your request to put this on the agenda for you to give the discussion?
It was suggested that I do it, so I did.
Okay. I just didn't know if there's going to be a protocol in the future regarding department heads or others, if they go to a convention or a seminar, if they're going to be required to give a speech back to the board.
That's why I said at the beginning, I don't know what you expected, so I've done the best I can, and if I set a protocol that needs to be changed, I guess.
No, I had talked to Sharon prior to her going to this seminar, and I asked, and I would ask anyone, you know, I don't know if we have to establish this, but if we pay an employee to go to a seminar or any type of function of that nature, that they bring something back to the board and to the residents. You know, it might be one little piece of information somebody heard tonight is going to make a big difference. And I think in all my years in the military and seminars I attended, that was a requirement to come back and present something. And I just feel it's something that's incumbent upon us as a board to ask our employees to do. And Sharon, I thank you again.
You're welcome.
So, I would just say, overall, is the board in agreement that each department head, if they go to a seminar or something, do they come back with information or how they distribute it? Or is it just Sharon's office? I don't know.
No, it is not just Sharon's office. The particular conference that she went to obviously has a lot of information that we all can hear at one time. And certainly, I had asked Sharon to put her on the agenda just so that we didn't do it under the department head. Either way, she was going to give a presentation, which obviously is very appreciative, and the fact that there are so many things out there that we're all learning at the same time. Anyone else who goes to a seminar that has input that would be of interest to everyone and it feels comfortable in giving the presentation, they certainly do so. If not, it would be presented and one of us would do that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I'm just looking for fairness across the board for department heads or others that we send. And I know in February there was the Association of Towns, and I didn't receive anything. So if there's any information that could be shared regarding that, I would appreciate it also from the supervisor or whoever else went.
Certainly, I'd be happy to. Moving on to number 10, authorize supervisor to execute memorandum for understanding regarding section 305 of the real property tax law. Brad, would you like to speak to that for us, please?
Sure. The memorandum is non-binding.
agreement that just lays out the duties of the state and of the town as pertaining to the reassessment project and the possible going forward with maintaining 100% valuation. So in order to get our state aid, this memorandum kind of lays out what we're going to do to attain it. And that's basically all it is.
We have a copy of the agreement, and I'd like to make a motion to authorize Supervisor Judy Boyke to execute this memorandum of understanding.
Second.
Can I ask you a question, before we call it, can I ask you a question, Brad? Does this impact at all the reimbursement of the tax dollar, or of the state's money per parcel?
Indirectly, it certainly does, because it lays out what has to be done in order to get that reimbursement. There's certain things that we would have to do to comply with the requirements of the state.
Is it just the lower, the $3 or $4 per parcel one, or is it the increased one due to the shared service agreement regarding your position?
I think that while it will lead to the next step, it's basically for the reimbursement, which would be a yearly payment, as long as we maintain the data, maintain the 100% valuation.
Any other questions?
Nothing else?
Mr. Corral?
Yes.
Ms. Boyke?
Yes.
Yes, they did.
I made the motion, well, I made the motion.
Mr. Jennings?
Yes.
Ms. Zambrano?
Yes.
Bring a pen for me.
Next on the agenda is a discussion on the anti-nepotism hiring policy. This has been brought up earlier in the year, and a request to bring it back on for discussion. Jessica, do you want to start the discussion on this?
There had been some concern about the hiring of relatives within the same department. Most public agencies have anti-nepotism policies, so we had asked the town attorney to draft something in a way that would speak to this issue and, as adopted would be, I believe, an ordinance. Is that not correct, Tony?
It would be a policy that the board would adopt.
It would be a policy, okay. I thought that perhaps, the town attorney could highlight actually, what is in this memo.
Brenda actually did it, if you want. It's kind of, what we did is we took a look at various other policies on nepotism, and we try to take the best pieces from all of them. There's a couple, I'm going to have Brenda do because she's more familiar with it, but Brenda.
Sure. What the policy does is it sets up a couple of different things. First of all, it makes clear that the preference is not given to any candidates who are relatives, and it sets up a definition of what a relative is, what that includes. And then it also says that it would be the policy not to employ a relative when there are certain circumstances. And that would be when one of the parties would have the authority to supervise the other, or to hire, appoint, remove, or discipline the other party, or when one of the parties is responsible for auditing or evaluating the work of the other one, and then when there might be some other conflict of interest in hiring the relative. So in those circumstances, the policy would be to not hire a relative. In all other ones, it would be up to the town to have the discretion in hiring a relative or not. That pretty much is in a nutshell the policy. I mean, there are a few other things in here about how the procedure would be handled.
Could you go in, Brad, could you go into the procedure if there,